Hey guys, what's going on? My name's Daniel and welcome to my channel. I'm so glad that all of you beautiful people are here today to watch this exciting video. And in this video, I'm going to be showing all of you how to make 1 gallon of cherry wine at home. I'm going to be going through all of the ingredients you'll need in order to do so. I'm going to do a step-by-step breakdown on how to get your wine started. Before I dive straight into the content, I would like to point out that most of the ingredients and equipment that I'm using today all came from Homebrew Ohio's 1 gallon wine making kit. This kit was one purchase that made it very easy for me to start making wine at home. I do have a video where I reviewed this kit, talked about everything that comes in it, and why I think it is a fantastic wine making kit. And also, if you have yet to do so, smash the like button. If you're enjoying yourself here, if you're glad that you're learning how to make wine, smash the like button. And if you want to see more videos like this, if you want to learn how to make more simple wine recipes at home, then smash that subscribe button. So for this very simple recipe, you are going to need 2 pounds of sugar. You're going to need 32 ounces of cherry juice. You're going to need water to fill it up to 1 gallon. You're going to need 1 Camden tablet. You're going to need a 1/4 teaspoon of yeast nutrient, and then you're going to need your choice of wine yeast. Do not use baker's yeast. In this video, I'm using Red Star Premier Blanc wine yeast, but you really do get to choose. It's all up to preference, and there's a link for that down in the description below. So those are all of the ingredients that you'll need for this recipe. As far as equipment goes, you're going to need a 1 gallon container. You're going to need an airlock, something to let air escape without letting matter in. And then I'm personally using a funnel to make it easier for me to throw everything into my 1 gallon jug. And I'm also using a hydrometer so that I know what my specific gravity is, because I'll be measuring that throughout the winemaking process. So now that we've covered all of the ingredients and all the equipment, let's start making some wine. So the very first thing that you're going to do with your equipment is sanitize all of it. Cleanliness is next to godliness, or something like that. But sanitizing your equipment will help you maintain the health and happiness of your wine. It'll stop it from straight turning into vinegar, which is not what you're trying to do. So I use Star Sands to sanitize all my equipment, and then we can begin adding the ingredients. The very first ingredient that I'm adding is 1 Camden tablet. It is preferred that you crush it before adding it, but I'm just going to go ahead and throw it in there and have faith that it will dissolve in the process. The very next thing that I'm going to be adding is my 2 pounds or 4 cups of sugar. I highly recommend that you find some way to add sugar to your container without getting it all over the place. So now that the sugar is added, we're going to be using our 1/4 teaspoon of yeast nutrient. This can sometimes be called yeast energizer. This is added to the recipe in order to help the yeast do its job the best that it can. The next ingredient we're adding is our 32 ounces of cherry juice. Now, heed my warning. If you are buying juice from a store, you need to read the ingredients list. It should just say cherry juice on it. If it has extra ingredients like sulfates or potassium sorbate or anything like that, it could very well inhibit your yeast production, which means no wine. So now that I have all of those wonderful ingredients added to the mix, I'm going to be adding water up to the 1 gallon mark. And I'm going to be periodically mixing it as I do so to make sure I get all of that sugar dissolved by throwing the cap on and giving it a vigorous shake, so that whenever I do take my specific gravity reading, I'm getting an accurate measurement. And now that it's properly mixed, I'm going to add the rest of my water and take my specific gravity reading. The specific gravity reading that you're looking for a sweet cherry wine is 1.100 to 1.110. Mine is a little bit higher than that, but that's perfect because I know that I'm going to get a higher alcohol content as a result, and that makes me happy. So now that I've taken my specific gravity reading, I've written it down somewhere. That way I can check again later in the future to see how much it's changed. I'm going to add that juice back into the carboy. And then I'll be adding the most important ingredient, and that is our Red Star Premier Blanc wine yeast. As I said, it doesn't matter what kind of wine yeast you use, I just highly recommend that you use wine yeast. There is no need to shake or stir after the yeast is added. It knows what it's doing. You'll most likely see it sink down a little bit and bubble up. I highly recommend that you keep an eye on your airlock for the next day or so to make sure that your fermentation isn't too excited and bubbles up into your bubbler, because I've definitely had that happen. The solution is to simply not fill your carboy up as high. And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. That is how you start the winemaking process for 1 gallon of cherry wine at home. You can follow the journey of this cherry wine by subscribing to this channel and staying tuned. Thank you so much for enjoying this 1 gallon cherry wine how-to video. I hope that you guys have a great time starting your own 1 gallon of cherry wine. If you're looking for some of the ingredients that I used in this recipe today, there will be links down in the description below, including a link to that Homebrew Ohio 1 gallon wine making kit. I wish each and every one of you the best of luck on your wine making journey, and I can't wait to see you guys next time. But until then, have fun brewing. Have an absolutely fantastic day. I'll see you guys later.